Good morning, amazing pupils. I'm sure we had a great time yesterday. It's a brand new day, and we'll be looking at the subject math. Our subtopic today is digital timing. Over the days, we have been talking about time interpretation, and we've actually done well so far in our analog timing. Bravo to everyone. Well done. All right, so today we are going to be looking at digital timing. Now, I remember I said earlier that clock has its own rules. And I remember saying that 60 minutes, the clock goes around in 60 minutes, which gives us 1 hour. That is counting from 1 down to 12. 5 in number bonds, 5. 5, 10, 15. Okay, let me use my clock. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 40, 45, 50, 55, and back to 60. So 60 minutes will give us 1 hour. And I said 24 hours, gives us what? 1 day. How do we get 24 hours? The clock starts from the 12 back to 12 back to 12. So 12 plus 12 will give us 24 hours, which gives us 1 day. And then 7 days, as we all know: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday makes 1 week. Next slide. I also talked about dividing your clock, especially your clock face, into 2. That's dividing into equal halves, where you have between 12 to 6, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as past, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 as 2. So now we've done that, let's look at the rules for digital clock. On a digital clock, it's always advisable to number your clock, especially when you're just learning how to interpret in digital timing. So on your clock now, you're going to cut out number bonds in 5 strips on a paper and stick to each number. Start from 5. Start from 5 such that your 1, we have 05. Your 2, we have 10. Your 3, we have 15. Your 4, we have 20. So number it all the way down till you get to 12. You can do that on your clock face. When you do that, so that when you're interpreting in digital time, you can refer back to the minute hand, and it gives you the direct answer without a struggle. When we are practicalizing it, you understand better. The same thing I did here, just what I just explained. Try to make a number bond strips in 5 and then place it in each number starting from 1. So you have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and 60. All right, we proceed. Now, digital timing, actually, it's not difficult. Once you understand the minute hand, you're good to go. You're good to go. Because all you need to do is just to know where the hour hand is touching and the minute hand is touching. Now, for digital timing, the first thing to know, after you've done your number bunch of 5s, which is very important, so in case you tend to forget, the first thing is to identify the hour hand. That's how we interpret the time in digital time. You remember, in analog, we interpret the minute hand first. But in digital, we interpret the hour hand first. So if the hour hand is the shorter hand, this hour hand is in between 4 and 5. Now, I said for a digital timing, we pick the number that the hour hand has just recently passed, which is 4. So I write 4. Now, there's what we call 2 dots. We make our 2 dots like a period mark. You see the colon on your keypad. You make your 2 dots, space bar, and then we go to the minute hand. First of all, you identify the hour hand first in the digital timing. Now, the minute hand is on 6. So what do? We count from 1. Remember, your 1 represents 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Remember your number bonds of 5. So we go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So on the 6, the minute hand is what? 30. So our time is 4:30. 4:30. 4:30. Let's take another example. Digital timing is very easy. It's not difficult. Just follow the rules and you get it. Now let's do this together. Okay. The first thing to identify on the digital hand is the hour hand. The hour hand is the shortest hand. The hour hand here is in between 11 and 12. For the digital time, wherever the hour hand is, wherever number the hour hand just recently passed is the number you will pick. Unlike the analog, when it's on the two axes, you pick the next number. But for the digital time, you pick the number the hour hand has just passed. The number the hour hand has just passed. Don't forget. So on this clock, we have our hour hand as a shorter hand, which is 11. And then on your keyboard, you find 2 dots. You put your 2 dots. And then you go over to the minute hand. The minute hand on this is 3. And then you count from 1 again. Remember, for every minute hand on every number, it represents 5 minutes. So you have to count from 1 to get the original minutes the minute hand is touching. So we start from 1, 5, 10, 15. So the time is 11:15. If I'm to interpret that in words, I will have 15 minutes past 11. But just leave it at 11:15. If I'm to write this in an analog, I will have, remember it to be the other way around. The minute hand first in analog, it becomes 11:15. All right, number 3 clock. Good. We have another one. It says, I love where the hour hand is touching and where the minute hand is touching. Remember, for digital time, you don't change the hour hand. Where the hour hand has just passed is the number you pick. So the hour hand here is 11, then our 2 dots, and then the minute hand is on 9. Now, how do we count? For us to get the original minute hand, we go back to 1. So we say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And my answer is 11:45. Good job. Well done, Miss Bola. Now, let me go to a more technical one. Okay. Now, let's look at this. See, just follow the rules. The rule is identify the hour hand first. The hour hand just passed 11. So we write 11. 11. And then we map out our 2 dots. Good. And then we count the minute hand. Digital timing is easy. You have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So the time is 11:40. Now, if you are to write this in words, let me move a bit further. If you are to write this in words, you have, this is 2. I don't want to confuse you. But if you have to write this in words, this is 2 axes, right? Which I said earlier. So it becomes, you count from 5 here. 5, 10, 15, 20. It becomes 20 minutes to 11, but don't bother about that. Just stick to the 11:40. Thank you. We have another one. I have lots of them. I would like you to also try. I'm trying out the other ones that might give you a little bit of issue in case. Okay, now look at this one. Remember, digital clock. Identify the hour hand first. The hour hand on this clock is on 10 because it's the shorter hand. So I write 10. Then my 2 dots. We look at the minute hand. The minute hand is on 2. So and I start counting from 1. So 5 plus 5, that's 5, 10. Will give me 10. That means the answer is 10, 10. That is 10 minutes past 10. 10 minutes past 10. So you can, if you're asked to interpret a clock this way, and they ask, oh, what's the time? The time is 10 minutes past 10. Let's try one more. The one that has the clock. Yes, here we have the 12 and the 1. The hour hand is on 1. The hour hand is on 1. So I write 1 and I make my dots. Like 2 dots. Now the minute hand is on 12. Will I write 112? No. Remember, I said the clock goes round. So we are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. On a normal day, we're going to write 60. But when you're reading it, the 12 is the king. So it becomes 0, 0. The 12 will always represent what? 0, 0, which is 1 o'clock. This is how you write it in digital timing. 1, 2 dots, 0, 0. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. So I've given you a worksheet to do. Try. Digital timing is not difficult. First of all, try to complete the rest and see. It's not hard. Do it and then try the worksheet also that I gave to you. Once you apply it, identify the hour hand first, then the minute hand. Before that, in case you might get confused, do your number bunds of 5. 5 number bunds. Start from 1 and place it by the side of each number. That is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So when you're done with your number bond, to be easier for you to identify both the hour hand and the minute hand. And that ends the digital time clock for today. Try it and let's see how it goes. I'm sure you will do great. Well done. Bye.